Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Dumb Laws from the Grave. I'm your host, Grave Knives, and today it's going to go ahead and let's get to Wisconsin's neighbor, Minnesota. Let's see what they got. Alright, and getting started for dumb laws in Minnesota. First law is the land of 10,000 lakes declares mosquitoes a public nuisance. I mean, I guess it's supposed to be like, if you're declaring mosquitoes to be a public nuisance, which, however, it only sucks because there's times they write that main law differently than what the actual law is, so let's look deeper in it. Okay, so real just quick breakdown like I've been doing. Simple form of that is basically saying they encourage you to suppress the mosquito population as much as possible. So, but I mean, I don't know how many lakes they've actually got. Are they Minnesota, the land of 10,000 lakes? I didn't know that. That's interesting. That's not far away. Maybe I'd visit that someday. But the fucking mosquitoes, man. It is illegal to stand around any building without a good reason to be there. Loitering? So it's loitering. Okay. Okay, so it is illegal to stand around any building without a good reason to be there. That is the quick rap version, of this what they plucked out, whoever made the page. What they plucked out of the actual law. I do like it sometimes when they actually post the real law, because then we get to see shit like this. Oh my God, Minnesota. Any of the following are vagrants and are guilty of a misdemeanor. Any of the following: a person with ability to work who is without lawful means of support, does not seek employment, and is not under 18 years of age. So, and then of course, a person found in or loitering near any structure, vehicle, or private grounds which is there without the consent of the owner and is unable to account for being there. Or a prostitute who loiters on the streets in a public place. Okay, so you got people that are just kind of like hanging out on private property that, not supposed to. You got prostitutes. There's more there. What else do we got going on here? And there's a little bit. A person who derives support in whole or part from begging, or as a fortune teller. Damn, they just wrapped in fortune telling. Many states like fortune tellers. They don't. I guess they see them as a scam and a gimmick, which probably 90% of them are. I wouldn't doubt that. But yeah, that first one though, if you don't have a job and you're over 18 and you're not seeking employment, you can be considered a vagrant. That's the piece out of it that kind of gets me and goes, oh, whoa, what? However, they decided to choose, it is illegal to stand around any building without a good reason to be there. Loitering. They chose a dumb law to be loitering. However, I think that first portion of that vagrancy law is way more ignorant. It's stupid. It's stupid. Continuing on. A person may not cross state lines with a duck atop his head. I can only imagine that means you're wearing a duck as a hat. And you're not allowed to cross state lines wearing a duck as a hat. If that has any credence to the true law, that's stupid. It is illegal to sleep naked. See that rocket take off? Holy shit. All men driving motorcycles must wear shirts. Fuck helmets. You gotta have a shirt on. Citizens may not enter Wisconsin with a chicken on their head. What the fuck is this? Why are people like leaving state wearing birds on their heads? And you know what? Hell, just screw it. I don't care if they're wearing a bird on their head. There's no reason why they shouldn't be allowed to. What's it hurting? You're not allowed to cross state lines. That does not make. And with the fact that there's two laws there, that makes me really feel like there is a solid law somewhere that does speak of like you're not allowed to put animals on your head after when you're crossing state lines. So, oral sex is prohibited. Ooh, I was worried there for a second. I wasn't really seeing a sex law. I wasn't going to call it out, but man, I was wondering. There it is, right there at the beginning of the list. You know what? That 7N. Oral sex is prohibited. Of course it is. Thank you, federal. Thank you, government, telling me what to do in my bedroom and what to do with my genitals once more. Finally, for state laws, the last one is all bathtubs must not have feet. I'm not sure what state it was. I know for a fact we seen one in the earlier days, and it was it mentioned about like having bathtub, the stands for a bathtub, uh, to resemble animals' feet. That it was illegal for animals' feet like that, and oh, that's stupid. Who cares? It's like putting a bird on your head when you cross state line. Who the fuck cares? Let's see what city laws got. All right, city laws for Minnesota. Cottage Grove, airplanes may not be landed in city parks. We're going to go ahead and we're going to check it. Short and simple, I like it. Activities requiring permit. No person shall engage in the following activities except pursuant to a permit for the activity. It just goes straight to like Section G, apparently. Use park property for starting or landing of aircraft, hot air balloons, parachutes, or hang gliders. Okay, the hang gliders, I don't really see being a plausible thing in a park. I mean, unless your park is like literally positioned on a cliff, but hot air balloons, what's it matter? I would kind of, airfield. I mean, if you got a big open area in the park, why not use the park for? Why is that so wrong? I can see, taking off in like, helicopters or airplanes. Absolutely. It also sounds like nowadays that could be applied towards like drone, like even remote RC controlled. Residents of even numbered addresses may not water their plants on odd numbered days, excluding the 31st day where it applies. I've heard of actually that before. I mean, I get what they're saying. Really don't need to look deeper into that law just because I've heard of places saying, oh, water shortages, and they'd make laws saying, well, you could only, if your house number, what was it? It was vehicles, as a matter of fact. They did that not too long ago with vehicles. You weren't, it was over in France, I believe. It was in a European country. And if depending on if you had an odd number, what your license plate ended on or whatever, um, you weren't allowed to drive on that day. You had to take public transport. And the next day they switched it to the even numbers, and it was kind of neat. It was interesting that they did that. It was to reduce the smog and pollution of the city because it was getting so bad. I want to say it was somewhere in France. I could be wrong, but anyways, that's kind of the same thing, right? Yeah, we'll go with that. Hibbing. Oh, I'm sorry, hibbing, not hibbling. Makes no sense. Hibbing, Minnesota. It shall be the duty of any policeman or any other officer to enforce the provisions of this section, and if any cat is found running at large, or which is found in any street, alley, or public place, it shall be the duty of any policeman or other officer of the city to kill such cat. I don't know why I read it like that, but so if you see a stray cat, you're supposed to kill it? That's fucked up, man. Cat murdering motherfuckers in Hibbing. Minneapolis, Minnesota. People are forbidden from walking in or down alleyways. You mean just casually? I mean, okay. Growing up as a kid, I used to walk where I grew up. We alleys were actually how we got around. You know, because maybe not always had a sidewalk, but alleys. There was always an alley. We liked alleys, and yeah, we had our other purposes and reasons for why, but we always worked. We used the alleys. That just became a common, regular thing. So you're not allowed to walk in or around an alley. Just real quick, real summarize. They actually say you can't walk down alleys. If you don't like live on that block where that alley is that you're walking through, you're not supposed to be walking down alleys. It's fucked up. Red cars may not drive down Lake Street. I don't know where Lake Street is or Minneapolis. I mean, what's it matter? Why red cars? Is that real? Is that true? Okay, so don't hate on me for if I mess this one up, but Minnetonka? Driving a truck with dirty tires is considered a public nuisance. Okay. I'm gonna guess that probably applies somewhere more towards the line, like if you just got done mudding and you're pulling through town and all you're doing is flinging mud everywhere because it's caked and everything and you're just burning, just flinging mud everywhere. That I could see a nuisance. Dirty tires is not, can't be. That's the only way I can see it being dirty tires. Because I'll tell you what, how do you not have clean tires all the time? That doesn't make sense. You're driving around. The ground is dirty. Everything's dirty, man. Everything's dirty. It's fucking life. Placing tax on a sidewalk is considered a public nuisance. Pranksters. Any person who persuades another to enter a massage therapist business after 11 p.m. is guilty of a misdemeanor. What kind of massage therapist are we talking about that's open for business after 11 p.m.? St. Cloud, Minnesota. This is how we're going to wrap this up. Hamburgers may not be eaten on Sundays. I Lent or whatever. I don't know. Is it something? I think that's some religions actually. They don't eat meat. They can only eat fish, or if they eat meat on Fridays or Sundays, whatever. Which, by the way, fish is meat. Just letting you know. Don't tell the religious people. They'll be upset. And Jesus said it was okay. It's okay. Anyways, we're not getting into that. But it is another freaking law with another state that has beef with Sundays. Ooh, beef, hamburgers, Sundays. Ha, that was not intentional. So that was Minnesota. That was kind of that was different. No, it wasn't really. It was like collection of all the other stupid shit we've seen across the state, except for like must wear a shirt while riding a motorcycle and throwing mud down roads, stuff like that is cool. It wasn't that bad. It was actually pretty entertaining. I'll give you props on that. And hell, you're one of the final 9. You're number 9, Minnesota. We've got 8 left. This little series is coming to an end here. It's not far off. So, 8 more to go. 8 more to go. Thank you for watching. See you guys next time.